hear both sides of the story. Both sides of the story. Both sides of the story.
Both sides of a story.
Yes, both sides of the story. Both sides of the story.
Both sides of a story.
Both sides of the story. Both sides of the story. Both sides of the story.
Both sides of a story.
Both sides of the story.
Both sides of a story.
Both sides of the story. Both sides of the story. Both sides of the story.
Knowledge is power. Class is in session. Hour 106.
Where art thou, beloved, tomorrow? When young and old and strong and weak, rich and poor, through joy and sorrow, thy sweet smiles we ever seek. In thy place, well, a day, we find the thing we fled today.
The sun will come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow there'll be sun. Just thinking about tomorrow clears away the cobwebs and the sorrow till there's none. When I'm stuck with a day that's gray and lonely, I just stick out my chin and grin and say, the sun will come out tomorrow, so you gotta hang on till tomorrow. Come what may, tomorrow, tomorrow, I love you tomorrow, you're always a day stuck with a day that's gray and lonely, I just stick out my chin and grin and say, the sun will come out tomorrow, so you gotta hang on till tomorrow. Come what may, tomorrow, I love you tomorrow, you're always a day away. Tomorrow, I love you tomorrow, you're always a day away. sun'll come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow there'll be sun. Just thinking about tomorrow clears away the cobwebs and the sorrow till there's none. When I'm stuck with a day that's gray and lonely, I just stick out my chin and grin and say, the sun'll come out tomorrow, so you gotta hang on till tomorrow. Come what may, tomorrow, I love ya, tomorrow, you're always a day away. When I'm stuck with a day that's gray and lonely, I just stick out my chin and grin and say, the sun'll come out tomorrow, so you gotta hang on till tomorrow. Come on, May, tomorrow, I love you, tomorrow, you're always a day away. Tomorrow, I love you, tomorrow, you're always a day
In spite of it all, there is hope. And this afternoon's selection, a combination of the poetry of Percy B. Shelley, Tomorrow. Where art thou, beloved, tomorrow, when young and old and strong and weak, rich and poor, through joy and sorrow, thy sweet smiles we ever seek. In thy place, ah, well a day, we find the thing we fled today. That's Percy B. Shelley's Tomorrow. And we paired that with the song entitled Tomorrow by Alicia Morton. It's the International Decade of Healthy Aging, the International Decade of Ecosystem Restoration, the International Decade of Ocean Science for Sustainable Development, the Decade of Action for Road Safety, and the UN International Decade of Indigenous Languages. It's the 13th day of the 6th month of 2023, the International Year of Millets. A millet is a cereal grown in warm countries and regions with poor soils, bearing a large crop of small seeds, which are chiefly used to make flour. 2023 is also the International Year of Dialogue as a guarantee of peace. Put another way, it's the 13th day of the first month of the 2023 Atlantic hurricane season. In this Disaster Risk Reduction Month, which is also being observed as Road Safety Awareness Month, Pride Month, and Brides Month. It's Caribbean American Heritage Month in the United States. In fact, members of the Caribbean diaspora in America are celebrating National Caribbean American Heritage Month. Also of note, as we share with you the happenings at home and abroad, still in the United States, June is being observed as Alzheimer's and Brain Awareness Month. Cataract Awareness Month, Men's Health Month, Myasthenia Gravis Awareness Month, Aphasia Awareness Month, Congenital Cytomegalovirus Awareness Month, Migraine and Headache Awareness Month, National Safety Month, Scleroderma Awareness Month, Post-Traumatic Stress Disorder, PTSD Awareness Month, and Scoliosis Awareness Month. It's Commemoration Day in Kyrgyzstan, St. Anthony's Day in Portugal, and Vincent's Day in Germany. Hoy es martes, el 13 de junio 2023, y les saludamos en cualquier parte del mundo que nos están escuchando en este momento. Estamos muy agradecidos por el don de la vida y el privilegio de servirles en otra edición de su programa, Both Sides of the Story, ambos lados de la historia. Nunca vamos a tomar su audiencia por sentado porque sabemos que ustedes tienen otras opciones y esta es la razón por la cual jamás olvidamos darle las gracias por elegir Both Sides of the Story, ambos lados de la historia, de lunes a viernes desde las 2 hasta las 5 de la tarde, aquí en Power 106 FM. La misión continúa para educar, capacitar, iluminar y estimular el espíritu empresarial. Bienvenidos.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:15.
Importers. Shipments requiring you to pay customs duties and taxes are cleared on a customs goods declaration, known as an IM4 or IMS4. Ask your clearing agent to provide your customs declaration, customs assessment notice, and customs receipt once duties and taxes are paid. Where your clearing agent may not be able to provide the IM4 or IMS4, request your customs goods declaration registration number or C number, which can be used to verify your payments. Importers, request your IM4, IMS4, or C number. It is your right. For details, email the Jamaica Customs Agency at public.relations@jca.gov.jm. Jamaica Customs, keeping our customers in focus.
The #1 digital sales and marketing conference will be live in Jamaica. SalesCon 360. Network with leading marketers on the future of sales and digital marketing. Explore the tech playground featuring the latest technologies and network with top experts at the AI costume party. Join us at the Jamaica Pegasus on June 14th, featuring top speakers and marketing experts from around the world. The future of marketing is here. Register now at salescon360.com or call 438-1135. Sponsored by iPrint Digital, Creative Brands and Concepts, Trend Media, RGR Theater Group, and our hotel. Dr. Jackie Campbell is on call this and every Wednesday evening at 8 with Powering Your Health. Powering Your Health is Power 106 FM's flagship program dedicated to health and wellness. Your one-stop place to power a healthy lifestyle. How can we help you to power your health? You can reach the show anytime by calling 876-922-411225 or by sending a text or WhatsApp message to 876-279-8598. Brought to you by Benson Pharmacy and Wellington Dental. That's Powering Your Health. Powerful health and wellness discussion and interaction. This and every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Only on Power 106 FM.
C'est mardi le 13 juin 2023. Nous vous saluons tous qui nous écoutez, où que vous soyez dans le monde. Nous sommes reconnaissants du don de la vie ainsi que du privilège d'être à votre service par une nouvelle édition de votre programme Both Sides of the Story, le pour et le contre. Nous ne considérons pas votre fidélité comme l'un de soi parce que nous savons que vous avez l'embarras du choix. C'est pourquoi nous n'oublions jamais de vous remercier de choisir d'écouter Both Sides of the Story, le pour et le contre, du lundi au vendredi de 10h à 5h de l'après-midi sur notre antenne Power 106 FM. Nous continuons notre mission d'éduquer, d'habiliter, d'éclairer et d'encourager l'esprit d'entreprise. Bienvenue.
That's great and lonely. I just think I might chin.
All we're saying is it's Tuesday, the 13th of June, 2023, and we greet you well wherever in the world you are listening to us right now. We remain eternally grateful for the gift of life and the privilege to serve you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story. We don't ever take your listenership for granted because we know you have choices. And that's why we never ever forget to remember to say thanks for choosing to listen to Both Sides of the Story Monday to Friday, 2 to 5, right here on Power 106 FM. The mission continues to educate, empower, enlighten, and encourage entrepreneurship. Welcome.
That's great and lonely. I just stick out my chin and grin and say, the sun'll come out tomorrow, so you gotta hang on till tomorrow. Come what may, tomorrow, I love you. Tomorrow, you're always a day away. Tomorrow, I love you. Tomorrow, you're always a the sun'll come out tomorrow.
Good afternoon to those of you listening to us on 106.1, 106.3, 106.5, 106.7, and 106.9. From Morant Point to Negril Point, from the Goat Islands to Galena Point. This is Power 106 FM, serving Jamaica and the diaspora. Hello to those tuned in via the Power 106 FM app, which you have downloaded from the App Store or the Google Play Store, depending on the nature of your device. Downloading is free, listening is free, whenever, wherever. We acknowledge those who have dialed a designated number to listen to Power 106 FM from the United States and the United Kingdom. Those in the US who wish to dial a number to listen to Power 106 FM can call 631-359-8281. 631-359-8281. If you're in the United Kingdom and you wish to dial a number to listen to Power 106 FM, your number is 0330-606-0953. 0330-606-0953. We're streaming live video on the Dervan Malcolm Facebook page. If you're not there yet, log on to Facebook and the search box atop the page, type DERVAN MALCOLM, and you too will be able to not just hear but see what's happening in the studios of Power 106 FM. If you do not have a Facebook account, no sweat, there's always YouTube. All you need is a smartphone, a tablet, computer, laptop, desktop, any one of those. Then you need internet connection, more importantly, internet connectivity. One sure way of testing for connectivity is by opening a browser like Google Chrome, for example. And if you're able to browse, then more power to you. If not, then you might need some assistance in that regard. How about that? In the meantime, we welcome your calls. Feel free. The lines are open. Whatever is on your mind, please feel free to share. The numbers 876-922-4112-5. 876-922-4112-5. the text line is the same as the WhatsApp number, which means you can not only send us your text messages, your WhatsApp messages, your voice notes, but you can call us on WhatsApp as well. That number is 876 365 3346. 876 365 3346. Welcome to those who are already on board, watching and listening to the program, Both Sides of the Story, here on Power 106 FM. Thank you very much. Pleasure to have you on board. And welcome. Let's say hi to, as usual, Norman Hines in St. Thomas. He says, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Norman Hines. Hello to Ricardo in Glengoff, St. Catherine. Velta Wilson is also greeting us. She too is in St. Thomas, like Norman Hines. Faye Weller is greeting us as well. And our faithful listeners, as she puts it. Thank you, Faye Weller, on behalf of our faithful listeners. Mobile Manager says, hi, Mr. Dervan, listening to you from Grand Cayman. Good to have you on board from Grand Cayman. We have pleasant memories of Grand Cayman. And in fact, the station has done a couple of broadcasts from Grand Cayman. One of them was from the, what's the name of Captain's Bakery in Grand Cayman. Same brand from Jamaica exported to Cayman, so to speak. And I believe that broadcast was done by Ronnie Thwaites. And then we had reason to travel to do a show, actually, a comedy show in Grand Cayman. And we did that, quite a number of years ago. And that went very well as well. The reception from the people of Grand Cayman was awesome. And good afternoon to Valerie Rochester in Atlanta, Georgia. She says, good afternoon, Mr. Dervan. To you too, Valerie Rochester. Welcome. And David Peppadem Dixon says, good evening, Jamaica. Still pretty much afternoon here in Jamaica. David Peppadem Dixon. Thank you very much for tuning in. Maybe it's evening where you are. That could very well be the case. In which instance you could feel free to share with us a couple of upcoming events of significance. And we do this because these are fundraisers from charitable organizations that continue to play their part in nation building. And there one in particular, and we'll hear in a little while. We'll hear in a little while which of those, because it's that time of year again, Father's Day around the corner, and Sir Optimist International Jamaica Kingston is hosting the annual Classics in June at the Church of the Ascension at 1A Daisy Avenue in Mona, St. Andrew. And that's on Father's Day at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. It's being held under the distinguished patronage of His Excellency Olivier Guillaume, Ambassador of France, and Madame Bouli Guillaume. And this is scheduled for Father's Day, Sunday, the 18th of June, starting at 5 in the afternoon. And for those who are looking for something different, something special, here's your opportunity to experience just that, featuring Yuko Aoki on piano, Larice Barnaby on the flute, Avery Barnett, harp, Kareem Chang, voice, Michael Gordon, piano, voice, Nomali Lumsden Campbell, piano, Christine MacDonald Nevers, voice, Sean Richards, guitar, Rafael Salazar, clarinet, Gabriel Walters, violin, Stephen Woodham, violin, and the tickets are available at the Music Mart at 8 South Avenue, Kingston 10, or Fontana Pharmacy at Waterloo, 12 West Kings House Road. And the donation at the door, $3,000. Remember, it's a charity. And for the live stream, you'd be able to go to classicsinjune.com. So you have a couple of options there. So the donation is 3,000 Jamaican dollars or 25 US dollars. And for further information, you can contact Sir Optimist Kingston at gmail.com. That's siroptimistkgn@gmail.com. And the proceeds are in aid of Shortwood United Church Early Childhood Development Center and other Sir Optimist International Jamaica Kingston charities empowering women and children. Sir Optimist International Jamaica Kingston is a registered charity. That's important to note. And supported by the French Embassy, La République Française, Kingston Freeport Terminal Limited, Total Energies, Neville A. Mills and Associates, Quantity Surveyors, NCB, Jamaica Stock Exchange, The Treatment Room, and Nationwide 90 FM. This is Power 106 FM. More in a moment.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:30. It's riveting, thought-provoking, and interesting. It's the morning agenda on Power 106 FM. Weekdays, 7:15 to 9 a.m. Join Jody and Quarry on Mondays and Tuesdays, and Sanjay Lewis on Wednesdays and Thursdays, while they alternate on Fridays, as they set your agenda and break down the issues, and keep you informed on what matters to you most. It's the morning agenda on Power 106 FM. Weekdays, 7:15 to 9 a.m. only on Power 106 FM.
The sun will come out tomorrow, so you gotta hang on till tomorrow. Come on.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. And we'll get to your calls in a moment. But we are very, very supportive of these charitable organizations that continue to play their part in nation building. And so we're going to pause to feature Sir Optimist International Jamaica Kingston. And we have our guests waiting in the wings. So let's say good afternoon and welcome to Sir Optimist, Dr. Carol Edwards. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. And you?
I am fine, thanks.
Great.
Thank you so much for joining us. We also, sorry, go ahead.
No, the thing is, thank you for having us.
Oh,
We're
it's
delighted to be on.
pleasure to have you on board. And we also have online Karim Chang, tenor. Welcome, Karim Chang. How are you?
Greetings, I'm doing good.
Wonderful. Happy to hear that. We'll start with you, Carol Edwards, with respect to the organization we have come to know as Sir Optimist International Jamaica Kingston. For those unfamiliar, can you bring them into the loop, please?
Okay, so Sir Optimist International is actually a global volunteer movement. We have members in about 120 odd countries across the world, with more than 70,000 members. So Sir Optimist International Jamaica is part of a global movement which is aimed at helping women and girls achieve their full potential. It started out focusing mainly on women in business, management, and the professions. But over the years, it has been widened, so we have women from all walks of life, but committed to helping women and girls generally educate themselves, uplift themselves, and achieve their full potential. That's what we're all about.
Mhm. And how have the past few years been for this event, Classics in June, which obviously is a major fundraiser for Sir Optimist International Jamaica Kingston? What have the last few years or the past few years been like, and what are your expectations for Classics in June 2023?
Okay, so as you say, it's a major fundraising activity for the club. And over the past 2 years, we were affected by the whole COVID-19 pandemic, the coronavirus.
Yes.
So for the past couple of years, 1 year we went online completely because we couldn't have the concert in person. And then last year we had a multiple event in that we were both online, virtual, but some people were able to purchase tickets and attend. This year we're fully face to face, and because of that, we're hoping that all those people who missed attending in the years when we were virtual will come out on Sunday. It's this Sunday, Father's Day, actually, and we will have an amazing performance. The usual excellent quality, excellent musical quality that persons can enjoy.
Or help us to understand the plan here with respect to in person and live stream. So you're
Okay.
doing both this year.
This year we're doing both in person and live stream because we recognize that some persons, even though the pandemic is officially over,
Mhm.
that there will still be some people who are not so comfortable coming out for face to
So
face.
you're trying to let them down easy in a sense.
Exactly. So, in addition to being able to attend at the Church of the Ascension, people will be able to log on and see a live stream of the concert. So, we hope to be able to attract both sets of persons, those who want to return to the traditional face to face performances. But if you're not comfortable doing that, you can watch a live stream of the concert itself.
And sorry, go ahead.
Saying persons who want to do that, we have a website where they can access the concert. It's at classicsinjune.com. And as of Thursday this week, they'll be able to purchase tickets for the live stream.
Right. And that would be going to classicsinjune.com. Those would like to.
Classicsinjune.com for those who want to attend, to watch the concert, see the live stream of the concert. If they want to attend in person, then tickets are available at the gate, but also at the Music Mart, at Fontana Pharmacy on Waterloo Road, and they can go to either of those venues to buy tickets.
All right, pause for a moment there, please, Dr. Edwards, as we hear from Kareem Chang, because he is, I don't want to call him a new kid on the block, but I'm anxious to hear how you have been brought into the fold of eminent performers.
I definitely am the new kid on the block, honestly. I was in contact with a mutual colleague.
Oh, hold on. We need a little more volume, Kareem, please.
Yes.
I know you're resting the voice because it's going to be very active come Sunday,
Right.
Father's Day. Yes.
Correct.
Mhm.
Yes. How am I sounding now?
Much better.
All right. So I was in I have a mutual contact with Lois Barnaby, and so she reached out to me. Rosette Salazar reached out to me and said, "We'd love for you to be a part of this." And I was like, "Okay, cool, exciting." And basically, this is history.
I see. And how would you characterize the sounds that emanate from your mouth musically?
I I like the songs that I produce. I I love all types of music, so you'll find me singing classical music, you'll find me singing gospel, you'll find me singing a good old love ballad. And so I think I'm a bit versatile in that sense, but my true love is any kind of music that inspires and helps people in any kind of way. So that's me.
And vocally, is it bass, tenor?
Well, I am a tenor.
Okay.
Yeah,
And what has your tenure been like so far, musically speaking?
musically,
Mm.
tenure. That would be most definitely. I've performed for many persons and with many people. I've worked with Dennis Rushton. Um, I've performed for the Governor General, Sir Patrick Allen. I have been a part of the Jamaica Choral Scholars, which is a group founded by Dr. Andrew Marshall, and they've done Christmas events for the past couple of years. COVID kind of mash up things, but I was a featured tenor for that. We did Jesus, Jesus Vagabond. So it was the classical composition of the Paco Bible story of Jesus' birth.
Mhm. Yeah, sounds like you've just your feet wet.
A little bit, a little bit.
All right, let's get back to Dr. Carol Edwards now. In terms of support, you seem to have managed to maintain some key partners, key supporters in terms of sponsorship.
Yes, we have a number of sponsors this year. Let me mention first of all the French Embassy, and in fact, the French ambassador. The concert will be under his patronage. But in addition to him, Kingston Freeport Terminal Limited has come on board, Nationwide News Network, Total Energies, Neville A. Mills and Associates, the Treatment Room, National Commercial Bank, and the Jamaica Stock Exchange. So we're really very pleased. I believe we also have Origin on board. We're very pleased that these companies and individuals have come forward to help us mount the concert, especially at a time when a lot of people have been under strain because of the coronavirus.
Mhm.
So we're very, very pleased that they have decided to assist us this year.
Yes. And what of the other performers? We've obviously we can't interview every performer in this one go. So, what can you tell our listeners with respect to the other performers, apart from Karim Chang, who is on the line with us as well?
Yes.
Who are some of the other musical exponents they can expect?
All right. Many people will be familiar with gold Musgrave medalist Stephen Woodham.
Mhm.
But in addition to Stephen Woodham, we have Michael Gordon, who will accompany all but four of the other performers. There's Louise Barnaby herself. Karim mentioned her. She's chair of the planning committee, and she'll be there on flute. We have Avery Barnett on harp, and this is special because I think it's the very first time we're going to have a harpist performing at the concert.
Mm.
Then we have Christine McDonald Nevers, who's a mezzo soprano, Sean Richards on classical guitar, Gabriel Walters on violin, and Raphael Salazar on clarinet. So it's a range of persons, a range of very talented artists who are going to be performing. And I know that we're promising people a treat. They always have excellent music, and we know that this year is going to be no different.
Yes. And for you, Karim Chang, are you scheduled or booked to appear with any of the other performers?
Well, Michael Gordon will be accompanying me,
Okay.
but I am doing two solo pieces this time around.
All right. Very good. And what about the organizations now, Dr. Edwards, that will be benefiting from the funds raised at Classics in June and
Yeah,
at the Church of the Ascension at 1A Daisy Avenue in Mona, for those who want to be face to face once again, or online, the live stream on Zoom. So for those who'd like to know, all right, so I'm making my contribution, who's benefiting?
Okay, this year our beneficiaries are the Shortwood United Early Childhood Development Center and also Reddy's Children's Home. The program at Shortwood in particular we're trying to promote because we have a breakfast feeding program going there. After dialogue with the people at the school, we realized that coming out of COVID, a number of the children were not attending school because their parents might have lost jobs during the whole pandemic.
Yes.
And so, or if they came out to school, they weren't paying much attention because they were not getting enough to eat.
Mm-hmm.
So after we introduced the breakfast feeding program, we have had an amazing uptick in the number of students who are attending. I think they're almost back to full complement now. So this is something that we want to maintain. We've managed to get support from other sponsors for that program, but you know, food costs money.
Mm-hmm.
We want to ensure that we are able to maintain the program. So that is something that we're really committed to.
Mm-hmm.
And then Reddy's Children's Home. This is just a home that we, in fact, had a partnership with many years ago, but we have recently reconnected with the school and with the home, and so far we have been able to provide them with books to assist the children, both books for those who are attending school and also just recreational reading. And we're thinking of starting a library at the school, at the home. So the funds that we raise from this concert will go towards these two primary projects, the breakfast feeding program and establishing the library at Reddy's Children's Home.
Well, we want to use the opportunity as we wrap to encourage all those listening, whether or not you have decided what you're going to be doing on Father's Day. You may or may not be able to fit within your activities Classics in June. It's scheduled for the Church of the Ascension, 1A Daisy Avenue, Mona. And there's also the option of watching it online. It's Father's Day, Sunday, the 18th of June at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And yes.
Just a quick plug.
All right, hold on. We'll give you an opportunity to make that quick plug right after the time signal.
You gotta hang on till
Listen to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:45.
Do you have a title for your property? If no, then get a registered certificate of title. To register your property, you will need a tax registration number, a valid government-issued ID, up-to-date property tax payments, the names, addresses, and occupations of 2 neighbors over the age of 50 who are not family members and can give a declaration on your behalf, a survey diagram, and documentation to prove ownership. For more information, contact the National Land Agency at 876-750-5263, 876-946-5263. Email asknla@nla.gov.jm or WhatsApp us at 876-418-5089.
tomorrow, so you gotta hang on.
If you're just tuning in, we're about to wrap a conversation involving Dr. Carol Edwards of Seroptimist International, Jamaica, Kingston, and one of the performers booked for Sunday, the 18th of June, Father's Day, Classics in June 2023 at the Church of the Ascension, 1A Daisy Avenue in Mona, St. Andrew. And don't forget, there's the option of the live stream as well, if you prefer to stay in the comfort of your living room and watch, as opposed to the comfort of the Church of the Ascension at 1A Daisy Avenue. So going to the break just now, Dr. Edwards, you wanted to give us a bit more.
I wanted to let people know that when they go to the website, the classicsinjune.com website, that they are able to make donations. If they can pay for your ticket, but if you want to put in some additional money, we would welcome that, because that is what is going to help us keep our programs going. Even people who are going to attend in person, if you want to make a donation to the club, you can go to the Classics in June website and make a donation either in US dollars or in Jamaican dollars. We would welcome it because that would help us to keep our programs going.
Well, we trust you will get the support. And as we wrap, Kareem Chang, what are you looking forward to the most at Classics in June as a first timer?
As a performer, I'm looking forward to sharing my gifts with the person who attends. That's my passion, honestly.
Yes, and that is quite clear. Well,
Yeah, man.
we wish you well, and we look forward to attending in person and participating in Classics in June 2023. Thank you both so much. All the
Right.
very
Thank you
best.
very much.
It's been a pleasure. You're welcome.
Right,
Bye
bye.
bye. Dr. Carol Edwards of Sir Optimist International, Jamaica, Kingston, and Kareem Chang, one of the performers in the lineup for Classics in June at the Church of the Ascension, 1A Daisy Avenue, Mona. But there will also be a live stream which gives you options. You can choose whether to attend in person or virtually. All the very best to the entire team of volunteers at Sir Optimist International, Jamaica, Kingston. Happy to play our part to get the word out. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world, taking your calls on 876-922-4112 to 5. 876-922-4112 to 5. Text line, same as the WhatsApp number, which means you can not only send us your text messages, your WhatsApp messages, your voice notes, but you can call us on WhatsApp as well. 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. Whatever's on your mind, please feel free to share. And Cherry Henry is greeting us as usual. Good afternoon, Cherry Henry. Good to have you on board. Let's see what's happening here. Andrew Thomas says, Hi, Dervan. Is your father from Hillsbrook District, Flower Hill, Hanover? No. As far as I know, it's a place called Troy in Trelawney. And Andrew Thomas says, My name is Andrew from Ontario, Canada. Welcome, Andrew from Ontario, Canada. The Nadine Show saying, Amazing that many sponsors are on board. What is the name for the children's library? Please and thank you. That would be the library at one of the homes being supported by Sir Optimist International, Jamaica, Kingston. We can always share that information and get that information to you. Nadine, maybe you could give us an idea of the best way to get that information to you. She says, Okay, merci beaucoup. Thank you for the information. You're welcome. Asha Ash says, Good afternoon, Mr. Dervan. Just tuning in from London. Welcome, Asha Ash. All things being well, we look forward to seeing you in the United Kingdom in a few weeks. All things being well. And she says, Okay, please let me know how it's spelt in terms of the name of the library. All right, we'll check on that. Nadine, the Nadine Show is from Quebec, Canada. Bienvenue, Nadine, the Nadine Show. Welcome, welcome. Good to have you on board. She says, first time here. Welcome, Nadine Show. Demar Davis says, good evening, Mr. Dervan. Good afternoon. Demar from Three Hills, St. Mary. Love your program, says Demar from Three Hills, St. Mary. Thank you very much. Happy to hear of your general love for the program. Let's go to Florida now. Well, not yet. We are scheduled to leave for Florida in a couple of days. But virtually, we're talking now. We're going to connect with one of our regular listeners in Florida who has something to say. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Yes, Mr. Malcolm, in a couple of days you're gonna be in Florida. Now Florida I think a 67 city them say. So which one city gonna be in?
Fort Lauderdale.
Okay. Close by where I live. Anyhow.
Mm-hmm.
I understand there's a meeting in Kingston, it's up already where they're trying to iron out the Asian people problem.
Yes.
So it's good when you can iron out a man problem, you know, I'm ready for that, you know, but at the same time, it's more disastrous when you can't iron out your one problem and all that so on.
Well, those involved, including the Prime Minister of Jamaica, have made it clear that in the final analysis, it's the people of Haiti who will be the ones to fix Haiti. So they have said that they're trying their best they've created a space, a safe space for especially members of the Haitian delegation to be able to express themselves and discuss matters pertinent to the good running of the country.
You know, when I say so nice in my head, you know, but it don't work like that. You know. When I problem, you have to understand. The law-abiding citizen would like it go that way, but the outlaw people, you have to put measures in place to keep them in their places.
Well, no doubt, these former leaders of various countries and present leaders have an idea of what it takes to run a country. Now, the extent to which they will be able to get all hands on deck remains to be seen, or whether they will still have a situation where the north is pulling away and the south is pulling down south and the east to the east and the west to the west. It's supremely difficult to achieve any great level of consensus in that kind of a setting.
But then the Caribbean soldiers, they can come together and farm them army and go down there and keep the outlaw people in their places and make things come back to normal. But for years now,
I don't know of a Caribbean army. There are obviously armed forces within each country.
Island, yes. And farm a team and go down there and make things go in order.
Yes.
So how long will that come in place? Because if we talk this year, next year we talk, and the other year we talk, nothing will be done.
Well, it depends on the people of Haiti. Like most things in most countries anywhere in the world, when the people are ready, you know, there's a saying that says, not digressing, but it says, when the student is ready, the teacher will come. When the student is ready, the teacher will come. I think it's a Buddhist proverb.
Yeah,
and so when the people of Haiti are ready, Haiti will be sorted out.
So Malcolm, as I said, the law-abiding people are ready, you know, but the gangster them is the problem. You know. And in any country, the law-abiding people want to see good prevail, you know, but the outlaw people is the problem. You know.
Haiti wouldn't be the first country in the world ever to have had problems before eventually, one way or another, working through those problems, finding solutions, and getting their countries operating as functional democracies for the most part once again.
So we're going to take the next 10 or 5 years before we see things come to normal. Then.
I don't know. I'm not a clairvoyant. I'm not able to look into a crystal ball and tell you what will happen.
All right, next subject is I hear.
Before you go to the next subject, here are some reactions to the subject matter that has been raised so far. Here, the Nadine Show says you have to care for your home before trying to fix other people's problems. Also, it's the G8 problems, capital NOT, not the Commonwealth problem. And the Nadine Show also saying the people of Haiti are traumatized by what happened in the past. And she says, never for Haiti. Whatever she means by that, I guess she can explain. Yes, go ahead. You are going on to another point.
Before I go to say, the people are traumatized. We just have to use extra force to send the signal to the gangster them.
Well, right. Something will have to give, one way or another.
Yeah, but the drawn out thing create more mayhem on the innocent people there.
Like I said, something will have to give, one way or another.
Okay. All right, next point. I hear a lie on the news this morning saying that there's a little young girl, I should say, that died where somebody cut her throat and throat of a vehicle, something like that. And he's saying he's asking for the death penalty for the person responsible for that. Now, Mr. Malcolm.
Who's asking for? Oh, the lawyer is asking for that.
Yeah, and they know it's not going to work. So why wasting time? What I would ask if I was in the position, a person who kills somebody, I find him guilty. Take off the 2 hands in the palm and let them go and then do it again.
That sounds brutal. Let's go to the break. Let's go to the break. One moment, please.
Contractors, developers, and small builders. Contact Coast to Coast Group of Companies for high-quality concrete products. The time by Coast to Coast Group of Companies is
3 o'clock.
The Auto World.
It's the only program on Jamaican radio dedicated to the world of automobile. It's the Auto World with Shelley and McLagan. Get news and reviews relating to vehicles and automotive technology. Learn the ins and outs of mechanical operation. Find out about the various stakeholders in the local and international automotive sectors. From auto finance to road safety to motorcycles, the Auto World is your one-stop shop for everything auto. That's the Auto World with Shelley and McLagan. Weekdays at 5:15 p.m. on Power 106 FM and the Power 106 FM app.
Until tomorrow, come what may.
Thanks for holding. And you see, based on what you suggested before the break, you're playing to that saying that says in relation to it, essentially says, be careful that you don't become the people you condemn. Be careful you don't become the people you condemn. So you're
I understand that.
Yeah.
And they say it's so much bad for people. But when somebody decides to take somebody's life and don't care what happened and how the family feel, what they expect when they hold them?
That the law will take its course.
And so there are certain laws you have to put in place to send them a message that if you take chance and get caught, this is what's going to happen.
Well, if you have the power and you are setting policy in a government, in a country, then by all means you can put that forward. Other than that, it's just talk.
Well, sometimes talking and you never know who might listen and he might touch the right ears and them put things into being. I remember I was watching that program used to be on JBC years ago near Manta, and the host of that program said she went to Africa and the person she was staying with, they go in the market, take a tour of the market, And she noticed a lot of people you see without their palm, and she asked the person, what happened to them? They said they're thief. Once you get caught and go to the court, that's what they tangle them.
And so you would love to see that in Jamaica.
No, what I'm saying, the people are killing people. And we know very well, say the hanging thing not going to work because the Englishman, they make it clear already that after 5 years, they're punishing us, so you can't hang them. And what they do, once they sentence, the lawyer file an appeal, and the process takes so long, 5 years gone, so you can't hang them again. So why having them sitting down there wasting time?
The justice has to take its course, even if it takes 100 years.
Take 100, yeah, but I understand it. But what I'm saying, you can't hang them, so don't act like something that not going to work. You have to have something that sends the message loud and clear that don't take no chance, because this is what will happen.
Well, I don't know that you can state definitively in the way you have that it's a case of people calling for what they know is not going to work. People who are desperate
Yes,
will
man,
call
years,
for anything.
Years. When the 80s, that thing cut out. And we know it never gonna work. People go there spend 20 much years sometime back on the street. And
so you're suggesting the dismemberment of these people, and you think that will solve the problem?
It won't solve all the problem because some people won't listen, but we send a clear message.
Oh, we hear you.
So yeah, they have to do something to so you say you're gonna be in the Fort Lauderdale next one?
No, in a couple of days.
All right, I'll listen and see if I can stop by.
All right. We'll look out for you.
Yeah.
Take care. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Taking your calls on 876-922-4112 to 5. 876-922-4112 to 5. The text line, same as the WhatsApp number, which means you can not only send us your text messages, your WhatsApp messages, your voice notes, but you can call us on WhatsApp as well. That number is 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. We have tons of messages as usual. We'll do our best to go through as many of them as we can. This one, this was from yesterday. Good evening. I cannot connect to Power 106. We hope things are better today. Delroy TL. We hope so. Sorry about that. But there have been a series of technical issues involved with Power 106. Not just Power 106, also with RGR 94 FM and the BBC transmission as well. They've all been impacted one way or another. Let's see. Let's go up the line and clear some more of these messages. Who is this now? Good morning. If, according to the principal, everything was in place, what is it that went wrong? I suspect it's a continuation of the debate on the horrific death of 8-year-old Daniel Rowe. And all kinds of debates will rage. It's usually the case. But we should still do what we have to do to make our contribution to our country. Hello to Michael Brown. Thank you very much for tuning in. We see you. Calvin in North York, Ontario, Canada. Thank you as well. And he has, I don't know if he's the one who did it, but there's some kind of a survey which shows the top 10 countries with the most languages in Africa. So he has decided to share this information with us. All right. Thank you for sharing. And all the very best. Let's see who else is messaging us. Marie Torres in New York, encouraging people to boycott Target and pray. Okay. Guess we'll have to watch that video to hear what is causing her to take that position. And Jason is inviting us to join Link. Del Mignot, Miss Del, sorry, we're not able to watch your video just now, but thank you for sharing. Thank you very much for sharing. James in East London has sent us the usual collection of stories coming out of the United Kingdom. Grief book author who killed husband cries as judge rules she poses danger. M&S security guard jailed for killing shoplifter who stole food with one punch. He was killed with a punch. Oh dear. 2 children found dead at home as a woman was arrested on suspicion of murder. A girl, 7, and boy, 11, were found unresponsive with injuries inside the house in Stoke-on-Trent on Sunday. Despite the best efforts of paramedics, both of them died at the scene. This is news coming out of the United Kingdom. Nottingham incident, man arrested for murder after city centre attack. And there are no plans to change abortion laws, says Downing Street. Downing Street is the seat of government in the United Kingdom. Another message. Good afternoon, Sir D. Those massive salary increases of over 150% upward that the government ministers took upon themselves. I am urgently looking forward to see what percentage they're going to come to the table with at the next public sector negotiation. They must, capital M-U-S-T, lead by example, and in the next negotiations, their example shall be followed to the T. Neville, otherwise known as Salah, says, good afternoon, Dervan. Just like to say that for those people who get their NIS pension monthly, it has been paid. It has been paid with a little retroactive. They can check their accounts. Thank you very much for sharing that information with us. Neville, otherwise known as Salah. Another message. Good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. Happy Tuesday to you and your listeners. Love the choice of your opening song. Clarky Bless in Hunstown, St. Mary. Thank you very much, Clarky Bless in Hunstown, St. Mary. This one says, please send birthday greetings to noted attorney, Miss Opal A. Pitter. Miss Opal A. Pitter celebrated her special day. Greetings from family, legal fraternity, victorious clients, friends, and unhappy convicts. God's guidance on your journey, says the writer of this message. Kwame, let's see. This is information now being shared with us by Kwame McPherson, who has been doing well in the literary arts. Let's see what he's sharing with us. 6,642 entries, 5 regional winners, One global winner. Watch the ceremony online Tuesday, the 27th of June, 12 noon UTC. RSVP today. Commonwealth Short Story Prize. There's a call coming in on our text line, same as the WhatsApp number. Hello, would you like to be on air? Hello, don't listen to the radio. You'll be confused. All right, that person is not ready for us. Let's move on. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website. You know, as I said, that person is not ready. I'm recalling my late former French teacher, one of my former French teachers, the very first one I encountered at Calabar High School, Mrs. Davis, Mrs. Olive Davis, sister of Neville Teddy McCook, who was involved in track and field right across the world. So what happened, normally between classes, some students would go out of the classroom, would just find something outside to do, just maybe run and jump or whatever, and then try to get back inside the classroom before before Mrs. Davis got to the class. So as it turns out, she got to the class before the other boys who were outside got back in. So she closed the door and she said, some boys were outside and they were saying, Miss, Miss, Miss. She said, you ever heard the story of the virgins? 5 were wise and 5 were foolish. You must be among the foolish ones. And that was the end of that story. They had to stay outside there and take whatever notes were being given. More in a moment.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3:15.
Importers. Shipments requiring you to pay customs duties and taxes are cleared on a customs goods declaration, known as an IM4 or IMS4. Ask your clearing agent to provide your customs declaration, customs assessment notice, and customs receipt once duties and taxes are paid. Where your clearing agent may not be able to provide the IM4 or IMS4, request your customs goods declaration registration number or C number, which can be used to verify your payments. Importers, request your IM4, IMS4, or C number. It is your right. For details, email the Jamaica Customs Agency at public.relations@jca.gov.jm. Jamaica Customs, keeping our customers in focus.
What is independence? At Hypro, we believe real independence means self-sufficiency, sustainability. It means developing the capacity to grow what we eat and eat what we grow smartly. Hypro continues to be your source for quality agricultural inputs and technical support to make sure Jamaica produces the best quality crops, poultry, and livestock. We sacrifice to achieve political independence. Let's work together to secure our food independence. Grow with Hypro.
Both sides of the story.
Do you have a title for your land? Are you thinking about buying or selling land? How much is your property worth? Tune in to Both Sides of the Story with Dervan Malcolm on Power 106 FM every last Tuesday at 3:30 p.m. for The NLA and You, a program that examines the National Land Agency's role in building an efficient and transparent land titling system for Jamaicans. That's The NLA and You on Both Sides of the Story with Dervan Malcolm every last Tuesday at 3:30 p.m. The National Land Agency. One agency, one goal, committed to serve you better.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. I'm Dervan Malcolm. Hello to Arnett Morgan. She says, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. Hope you and family doing well. Yes, thank you very much. I think that's the same Arnett Morgan who is in Quebec, Canada. Good day to you. Bonjour. Paul Miles of the eponymous Paul Miles Foundation is on board as well. Good day is his greeting. Sophia Nemard in Newell, St. Elizabeth is greeting us as well. Welcome, Sophia Nemard. Inez Ayona Campbell says, good afternoon, Mr. Dervan and viewers. Good afternoon, Inez Ayona Campbell. Paul Miles of the eponymous Paul Miles Foundation says, good news, Dervan. Portland principals are motivated. 13 Portland primary schools are on board to receive computers to initiate interactive learning in September 2023. Devices already shipped to 4 schools. Discussions in progress to add another 7 Portland primary schools. A total of 20 schools, which would be 40% of the schools located in Portland. All good news. Thank you very much, Paul Miles of the eponymous Paul Miles Foundation. He says almost 200 computers to be shipped, 58 already shipped either directly to schools in Portland or storage locations in Jamaica, staging technological assets to be ready to be in operation September 2023. Well done, Paul Miles of the eponymous Paul Miles Foundation. Keep it going. Also messaging us, Nadine Show, the Nadine Show, saying, I oppose mutilating somebody's body as the answer. And that is in reference to one of the callers earlier on, one of our listeners from Florida. Michael from Belle Plaine in Clarendon is greeting us as usual. Greetings and all the best to you, Michael from Belle Plaine in Clarendon. Someone has sent us a series of voice notes. We haven't been able to listen to them, and that means we're not in a position to play them. Don't recognize the person with that display pic either. So not sure what that is about, but we'll see. Cuban in Georgia says, good afternoon, Sir Malcolm. What is happening with the project to fix Haiti? And what are the resources that France has to provide? That's a good question. At this stage in Haiti's development or lack thereof, Haiti is essentially on her own, save and except for perhaps those inside and outside of the country who are holding on and continuing to play their part. Cuban in Georgia goes on to say, up to recent times, to my understanding, Haiti is still paying reparations to France, still with its suffering. I think the damage has long been done, sadly. But Haiti, only Haitians can fix Haiti. And we trust that at some point, things will get better in Haiti. It's not going to happen magically, obviously. The Nadine Show reminding us that Haiti paid up the full amount to France for separation. Yes, indeed. Thank you very much for your contribution, Nadine Shaw. Continuing with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Paro 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. This is Road Safety Awareness Month, the month of June, Road Safety Awareness Month. And here's what happened in 1830. Henry Bliss was born on this day in 1830. On September 14, 1899, in New York City, Henry Bliss became the first automobile fatality. That's right. Henry Hale Bliss was the first person killed in a motor vehicle accident in the United States. On September 13, 1899, he was disembarking from a streetcar at West 74th Street and Central Park West in New York City when an electric-powered taxicab, automobile number 43, struck him and crushed his head and chest. He died from his injuries the next morning. Arthur Smith, the driver of the taxicab, was arrested and charged with manslaughter, but was acquitted on the grounds that it was unintentional. The passenger, Dr. David Edson, was the son of former New York City Mayor Franklin Edson. A plaque was dedicated at the site on September 13, 1999, to commemorate this event. It reads as follows: Here at West 74th Street and Central Park West, Henry H. Bliss dismounted from a streetcar and was struck and knocked unconscious by an automobile on the evening of September 13, 1899. When Mr. Bliss, a New York real estate man, died the next morning from his injuries, he became the first recorded motor vehicle fatality. The first recorded motor vehicle fatality in the Western Hemisphere. This sign was erected to remember Mr. Bliss on the centennial of his untimely death and to promote safety on our streets and highways. Bliss's death was the first recorded vehicle-related fatality in the Western Hemisphere. However, prior to his death, there were two such deaths in Europe. Bridget Driscoll was killed by a car on the grounds of Crystal Palace, Sydenham in London in 1896, and Mary Ward was killed by a steam-powered car in Ireland in 1869. And at a time when we are still hoping for more rain in Jamaica, let's go back to 1904, when 8 inches of rain fell at Irwin in St. James between the hours of 7 a.m. and 1 p.m. It happened on this day right here in Jamaica in 1904. 8 inches of rain fell at Irwin in St. James between 7 a.m. and 1 p.m. 1943, the Transport Defense Board submitted a proposal to the Colonial Secretariat and the Jamaica Chamber of Commerce to stagger the opening and closing hours of work for offices and businesses in the corporate area, and so spread out the period of use of the roads by traffic, which would result in less congestion and saving of fuel. The proposal is that wholesale stores should open from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., government offices, professional and commercial offices from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., and retail stores from 9:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m., Monday to Friday, and on Saturday, a more elastic schedule. 1947, following representations made by Ken Hill, the governor authorizes the financial secretary Norman Stratham to make advances from public funds to mail couriers employed by the Post and Telegraph Department to purchase bicycles for use in connection with their work. Still in 1947, and back to water issues, the Hermitage Dam on this day in 1947, the report in the Gleaner was that the Hermitage Dam had only 167,500,000 gallons of water, falling from 177,170,000 3 days earlier. An interesting, though exaggerated, comparison is that the government rum stores had 6,708,381 gallons of rum, which was increasing. And we're still on water matters. 1948, after 2 years of fingers crossed for luck and prayers of hope, the Mona Dam near Papine and Augustown in St. Andrew fills and has 700 million gallons at a depth of 30 inches, with surplus water flowing through the spillway tower back into the Hope River. The reservoir was completed in August 1945, but an extended drought led many skeptics to doubt if it would ever be filled. Not until September 1947 did water of any quantity begin to enter it, until December 1947 when it reached 650 gallons. Another drought intervened and storage fell, and it was decided not to use the water to supply Kingston to preserve the embankment. Hundreds of sightseers visited and drove around the rim of its 1 2/3 miles, with water covering 100 acres. And we're still having water matters. Still, here's another story, water related. 1950, the Water Commission began the construction of a new reservoir. We'll tell you about that one in just a moment.
Tomorrow clears away.
Knowledge is power. Class is in session. Power 106.
Help us protect Jamaica's borders. Tell us about any illegal guns coming through customs-controlled areas. Call Crime Stop at 311. The time by the Jamaica Customs Agency is 3:30.
Just thinking about tomorrow clears away the cobwebs and the sorrow.
So we were saying 1950, on this day, the Water Commission started the construction of a new reservoir, 50 inches in diameter and 107 inches deep, to supply the University College of the West Indies with a direct source of water. The site of this reservoir was about 1/4 mile above the top entrance of Hope Gardens on the Papine to Gordontown Road. The water for this reservoir would be pumped from the Hope Waterworks and then flow to Mona Dam through a 9-inch cast iron pipeline by gravity. That was 1950 in Jamaica. 1960, the law establishing the Bank of Jamaica as Jamaica's central bank was enacted on this day in 1960 and came into force on the 1st of October, 1960. 1969, the Court of Appeal, by majority decision, upheld a submission by Frank Phipps that under the law, only the female ganja plant was referred to, and that the government's analyst cannot say whether the exhibits in the case which he examined were male or female. Still in 1969, on this day in 1969, Radio Jamaica terminated its rediffusion service. 6,000 subscribers were affected. 1971, the United States hospital ship Hope arrived at number 2 pier in Kingston, Jamaica on this day in 1971. 1991, Jesus College, Oxford University honors one of its most outstanding and distinguished students, Norman Manley, when his son, Prime Minister Michael Manley, was invited to unveil a portrait of him. He was the first graduate of the university from the Caribbean to be honored by the college. Manley's portrait joined those of former British Prime Minister Harold Wilson, T.D. Lawrence, Lawrence of Arabia, and Vifmint Sankri. Something is not right there. Former Lord Chancellor of England, Norman Manley, a legal luminary, Chief Minister and Premier of Jamaica, and one of Jamaica's national heroes. So that's your dose of history for today. Thank you very much for your indulgence. Let's continue now with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Paro 106 FM. Still taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5. 876-922-4112-5. The text line, same as the WhatsApp number, which means you can not only send us your text messages, your WhatsApp messages, your voice notes, but you can call us on WhatsApp as well, 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. Another message coming through from the Nadine Show. She says, my neighbor is a nurse, and she said the constitution in Haiti needed to be abolished for changes. Bourgeois family living good life in Haiti, lower income family are suffering because of the lack of leadership. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us, the Nadine Show. Thank you very much. Let's go to another of these messages. Good afternoon. If you stumbled upon an original great recipe using a company non-baking products, how much would you charge for the recipe? I'm sure that question is not meant for me. Good luck with that one. Maybe you can work it out and tell us. Is that a real life story, culinary chef? Give us some more information on that. As we continue with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices. A couple of stories coming through since the last time we checked. So, for example, we see this story as reported by the BBC. Donald Trump makes a surprise stop at a Cuban restaurant and takes pictures with supporters after pleading not guilty in Miami court. That's a development. Also, a judge will let E. Jean Carroll amend her defamation lawsuit to seek more damages against Trump for comments he made at a CNN town hall. And there are other messages and stories. Let's go back to the phone lines. 876-922-4112-5. 876-922-4112-5. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, Dervan.
Good afternoon.
I trust you and your listeners are well today. Yes.
We're fine, thanks.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
There are two things I would like to speak about briefly. And the first thing, I heard of this 8-year-old girl. I don't know if I'm the only Jamaican who remembers a girl called Natasha Brown, who was 4 years old, and she was kidnapped by, and there was this article in the newspaper, jealousy blamed for child's murder, dad's ex-lover accused of butchering 4-year-old. I am not suggesting that this is what has happened this time, but we have been here 4 years old, Natasha Brown. So I bring that up to say, lest we forget, we have been here.
Yes.
And how gruesome that was. That child was hacked and decapitated and put in a crocus bag and dumped in a pit. Anybody, do you remember that story, Dervan?
Yes, yes.
Yes, that's a story that just came back to me when I heard that story. And I'm repeating, I'm not suggesting that that is what happened this time, but that child was 4 years old. So the point is, we tend to, these things happen, and we are in shock and awe, and we come up with suggestions, and then afterwards we get numb, and then something frightens us again. And if I remember correctly, that happened during Child's Month.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. And that's the title of that article. I had to search for it. And while I was searching, what I found very interesting, I remembered it, but I couldn't remember the details. And I said, I'm sure that I can find this. Let me search. And I put, in searching for it, I had girl, child killed by a woman or some such thing. But what was very interesting about the search is that I couldn't find that. I kept seeing a number of instances where men were the ones that did the killing, regardless of the fact that I had women there. And I said, that's very, very interesting that it took me so long to find it, but I found it. And I just mention it to say that we have been there, and it is about time that we come together and think of something that we can do that's sustainable. I don't have the answer, but I remember some time ago we had the Respect to Life initiative.
Yes.
And that was launched after a little girl was lured away by someone in Coronation Market.
Yes, I remember that.
Yes. And out of that came the Respect Life initiative that was launched, and we went on for a time, and that died. You remember Hands Across Jamaica for Righteousness?
Yes.
Remember Mother in Crisis?
In fact, they're behind the radio station in Portmore.
Right, right. So we come up with a number of things. The criminals are relentless, but we tend to come up with things, myself included, because I was behind the Respect Life initiative, and that is not operating now. We tend to relax after a time. So I'm just throwing it out there. What can we do now that we are at a place where we are all hurting for this 8-year-old girl? We were in pain over the 4-year-old and the brutal murder of that little girl, Natasha Brown. We have forgotten her until there's someone else. Are we helpless? I doubt it. what can we do to, what sustainable thing can we do? What can we do as a people? I'm asking myself the question too. So I'm just sharing that. That's one. And I won't stay long on the second topic I'd like to raise, and that's about artificial intelligence. What specifically I want to say about that is that it is important for enough of us to use artificial intelligence now that it's not new. Artificial intelligence was around from the early 1950s. So it's not new. What is new is that we have access, just as how the internet was around, the World Wide Web, and in 1993, that's when we all had access and the world changed. I doubt that we will go back to how things were before ChatGPT was released November 2022. So I would encourage as many of us as possible to use the free version, ChatGPT 3.5. That is free with OpenAI. Bing Chat is also free, and Google Bard is free as well. So it is important for us to have our own experiences that we can bring to the table. It is not going away. It is here to stay. Mm-hmm. So we need to have our own experiences so that we can speak about these things from a point of knowledge and not just fear. There are concerns, and I'll close with this. There's a book that I'm reading, and the title of it is Artificial Intelligence and the End of the Human Era, Our Final Invention. And that was written by James Barrett.
Yes.
And that was from...
Sorry, one moment, please.
For any project, ABC Electrical Sales has all your electrical supplies at the best prices. 8 Hagley Park Road, Kingston, 7543714. The time by ABC Electrical Sales is
3:45. Farming today is becoming more technologically driven. No wonder Jacto Farming Equipment has the cutting edge. With Jacto, you are guaranteed sprayers that are durable, user-friendly, low maintenance, have controlled application, efficient and practical. Call Caribbean Chemicals Jamaica at 876-757-0022 and inquire about our Jacto manual and battery-operated sprayers and our tractor-mounted boom and cannon sprayers.
Thanks for holding.
Yes, thank you. Yes, I was speaking to a book that was written from 2013, Artificial Intelligence and the End of the Human Era, Our Final Invention by James Barrett. It is a very interesting, scary book, but it is very important for us to pay attention so that we can understand what is happening and have our own experiences. That's where I leave you today, Dervan.
Well, thank you very much for the call. Please call again.
Thank you, Dervan. I called from Bagatelle.
Of course, from Bagatelle.
Bye-bye.
All right, take care. All the best. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Live on your smart devices all over the world. Taking your calls on 876-922-4112 to 5. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How is everything?
Everything is everything.
All right, everything is everything. So we give thanks to the Black Redemption coming up. You don't know if you could bring up some information and it may reason for it really. Why Jamaica and Scotland carry a similar flag with only different colors? Will I bring up that information there for me?
What do you have in mind? Go ahead and tell us.
No, me that want to bring up the information to our listeners, because entire reason different, I know that me and the eye different, you know it go, world audience, you know? So me that have to use the eye after some big up such information, you know? While Scotland and Jamaica carry a similar flag, with only different colors. And there is reason briefly for it.
Why? Why do you think so?
Oh, you don't want to bring up the information anyway.
The flag is the blue and white, and there's a cross, a white cross set on a blue backdrop, and obviously doesn't have the colors of the national flag, but it's the closest in terms of design. The Scottish flag.
Okay. All right. Give thanks to public educator, or you put it in your words, no problem. So, we as black people here in Jamaica or in the African diaspora, you know, who Marcus Messiah Garvey, who born in Jamaica here, you know, when we never have a flag to represent us as a people worldwide, and give us the red, black, and green flag, you know, Pan African banners, red, black, and green, also the red, gold, and green banners, we have it among like that. So why we didn't fly these banners that truly represent us? You know? To make Busterman and his colleagues them in 1961 to 1962 adapt Jamaica banner with X banner, you know? They come from Scotland, you know, the man in Scotland friend. Why we don't turn on to this worldwide independent banner that was given to us by the honorable black philosopher Marcus Messiah Garvey, that truly represents us? Because this flag has been flown in many African countries, you know.
Well, it's the people who made the decision back then would tell you that they made the best decisions, or the best decision under the circumstances, or in keeping with certain things.
Those are representatives. We have the Tanzanian banner was similar to the banner that was accepted here. So the House of Representatives, green, black, and green. Them say too close. That's why I tell you to bring up the information, make a reason for it. Them say too close to the Tanganyika flag. Huh? That's why them come up with this Jamaican flag when we have the red, black, and green represent us worldwide already. Then everywhere, this government and this system of government try to cut off our Africanness, because they never want we have a flag where people look like an African flag, you know, which is Pan-African balance or colors, you know. So them say to look too much like Tanzania, Tanganyika flag. So Busterman to come with this. No, so now that no want to go republic and want to move from British monarchy system of government. I know it is right to live ID's royal banner, you know. The red, black, and green. The red, black, and green floating over us, you know. And it's our emperor to shield us from wrong. So we have a government and we have a kingdom of our own. The foundation have been laid. So we're calling upon this Jamaica government from King's House, you know, to Garden House and all around, to lift ID's royal banner for the future, you know. And then, and only then, we will have a black government.
Which banner you want to be hoisted?
Red, black, and green. It is flown amongst us as the people, the grassroots here in Jamaica. Ethiopia Africa Black International Congress. It is flown 10 Mile Bull Bay, you know, standard. So the government of Jamaica and us as black people need to fly these banners for the future, you know. And then we will have a black government, you know, a black kingdom, you know, worldwide.
It will just happen automatically.
We are to do it. We must do it. And if we don't do it, a judgment drawn here, you know. Because we must look where it takes place in the world. The Chinaman no want it. The Indian no want it. The white men no want it. America, England, none of them no want it. You know, see? And we no want to sell. So we're in a serious position. Why we don't want to sell?
How do we get out of that position?
Turn to ourselves and for the true spirit of brotherhood and sisterhood amongst ourselves. We are blood brothers and sisters here on the island, you know. Blood brothers and sisters, none of buck up things, you know. And furthermore, all of us have the identity of an African, you know, partially black. So make we stand up in our blackness as the job is anywhere we there. We Africanize here, or we could Africanize where we there. Like how we get born in a Jamaica, yeah? By turning to the right of ourselves, the strength and pride of an African sovereignty, you know, black pride, you know, black philosophy. Marcus Garvey teaching, a Rastafari teaching that points us to Ethiopia, Africa, a nation, a royal, sovereign nation, well kingdom, you know.
Well, maybe you'll have to go on a campaign and get the flags, the red, green, and gold, or red, black, and green, and plant these flags all over the country.
What about you? Why did you say we? Isn't the right of us?
I have no such interest.
You have no such interest?
No.
See these banners?
No, I'll help to plant the Jamaican flag any day.
Help to plant the Jamaican flag?
Yeah, that's the only one that is allowed to fly and fly to the right. I think no other flag is supposed to be flown to the right of the Jamaican flag. So
that is King Charles.
That is what it is.
King Charles overseas banner that we proud of, we don't proud of something of our own, of our black self.
It was the idea of the Jamaican flag originated right here in Jamaica, nowhere else.
House of Representatives, Charles government.
The idea of the Jamaican flag originated right here in Jamaica, black, green, and gold.
That's why I tell you to bring up the information.
Thank you very much for this afternoon. Thank you. All the best. Please call again. Let's see. Nadine says, let me clarify my last statement. Accuser from rich family, treated differently. Thanks someone from a lower income family. The kid whose neck was slashed in a car under an abduction act is from a wealthy background, and his mother, the alleged accuser, according to her refusal to turn in her cell phone for forensic tests. A lot of Jamaicans are mixed, and I don't consider myself to be an African. My mother is half German and Indian. My father is half white and black. So I am not, in bold letters, I am not an African citizen, writes the Nadine Show. And finally, she says that that's your belief, sir. If you wish to have a flag for your co-culture, then talk to your government. That's from the Nadine Show. Thank you for your messages. As we continue with more here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5. 876-922-4112-5. Text line, same as the WhatsApp number, which means you can not only send us your text messages, your WhatsApp messages, your voice notes, but you can call us on WhatsApp as well. 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. And a couple of couple of updates for you. And this is the thing that tends to happen, the what they call it, the copycat syndrome, for whatever reason. Now we're having a story. Man gunned down outside Ascot Primary in Portmore. That is one of the latest stories on the Jamaica-Gleaner.com website. A man was this afternoon fatally shot outside Ascot Primary School in Portmore, St. Catherine. The deceased is believed to be a taxi operator who plied the Greater Portmore to Portmore Mall route. The shooting happened sometime before 2 p.m. along the Brayton Parkway. So, let's see. No one at the school was harmed. Details surrounding the shooting are not known at this time. Well, we hope that that's not a copycat. Because some of us have a habit of creating serials, serials. And if you missed the story, which broke earlier today, Jamaica suspends consular services in Haiti amid violent attack on compound. Gangsters in Haiti last night attacked and set ablaze sections of a compound on which Jamaica's consulate is housed amid ongoing violence in the French-speaking country's capital, Port-au-Prince. Just a gentle reminder, it is okay to say Port-au-Prince. That's the anglicized pronunciation. Port-au-Prince is fine. If you're going to speak French, then you would have to say Port-au-Prince. Port-au-Prince. But please, no dancing and prancing. It's not Port-au-Prince. Please. Port-au-Prince, if you're going French, or Port-au-Prince, full stop.
Clears away the cobwebs and the...
At Wellington Dental, they offer cleaning, filling, whitening, and other services for the entire family. The time by Wellington Dental is
4 o'clock.
The sun will come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow there'll be sun.
¿Qué hora es en español? Son las 4. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 4 heures. 现在几点了？4点1分. But it started out at 4 and it's now a minute past 4 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Have you had a checkup lately? If not, now is a good time. Let's not wait till we get sick to get a checkup. How about that? Checking in with more on your program, both sides of the story, Power 106 FM. Back to the report. Gangsters in Haiti last night attacked and set ablaze sections of a compound on which Jamaica's consulate is housed amid ongoing violence in the French-speaking country's capital, Port-au-Prince. Reports from Haitian media are that the attack was triggered by a purported land dispossession court judgment. Men, 2 of whom are said to be a bailiff and a justice of the peace, reportedly sought to enforce the order, which is believed to be illegitimate, but were met with resistance. The compound's security guards were subsequently overpowered and disarmed by the men, and the facilities were ransacked and painted. There's another word. It's not ramsack. It's ransack. R-A-N-S-A-C-K. And, right. So that's another one to take note of. Not ramsack. I know in Jamaica we have a tendency to say them ramsack the place. It's ransacked. Ransacked, and painted with graffiti before sections were set on fire. Additional information from news outlet Haiti Libre is that more than 40 employees were held at gunpoint and subsequently prevented from leaving the compound before police arrived. Foreign Affairs Minister Kamina Johnson-Smith this morning announced in a social media post that consular services have been suspended as a result of the incident. We are aware of the Sun Auto dealership in Port-au-Prince was ransacked and set afire by gangs last night. As the Consulate of Jamaica was also on the compound, consular services are suspended indefinitely, said Johnson-Smith. The attack comes amid Haitian Prime Minister Ariel Henry's visit to Jamaica, where he's attending crisis talks aimed at helping to determine how the country, as in Haiti, can rebuild from the latest rounds of political and economic turmoil. There's another one that we wanted to share. Well, by now, if you're following social media and mainstream media, that the police are looking for a woman in the Daniel Rowe murder case, the 8-year-old who was in a most horrific way denied the right to life. And in fact, there's a picture that has gone up already. The police are using a technology that allows them to create features as close as possible to the person who the technology has identified positively, so to speak. So that's where it's at now. Let's see how it all unfolds. And PNP appeals for calm, condemns fire at constituency office in St. Catherine, Southeast. What is this? We're not going back there, you know. Whether party against party or party against its own party, we're not going back there, please. We have had enough of that as a country. We're not going back there. All the people who are trying to foment some kind of animosity. Find another country. This, let's see. Right. And there's another tragic story of a man gunned down on Brunswick Avenue in Spanish Town. And two more people charged over a St. Anne bar robbery. Two charged over St. Anne bar robbery. All right, we'll leave those stories there for now. You can listen out for major news at 5 for the latest news. In the meantime, let's go to the phone lines once again. 876-922-4112-5. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, Professor Dervan Malcolm.
You're very kind. Good afternoon.
Mr. Malcolm, good afternoon to your valuable listeners and callers.
Thank you on their behalf.
Mr. Malcolm, you know that your show getting a lot of ads on YouTube?
No, I didn't know that.
Mr. Malcolm, when I go on the YouTube and looking at your program while working, sometimes they cut you out and a lot of ads come on your program and then you come back in. I have to be skipping through ads sometime to go back there.
Oh, I had no idea.
And I said that is very good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hope you're getting some revenue from that.
No, not as far as I'm aware.
Jesus, boy, I may tell you. Mr. Malcolm, last night at about 2 a.m., the war in Russia was so intense, 10 people died because the Russians fired some missile over into Kiev and blew up an apartment. But ironically, about the same time, they like the office in Portmore for the PNC office in Portmore.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it happened simultaneously? It happened at the same time?
Yeah, in the same time zone this morning.
Oh.
Mr. Malcolm, when I get the call at about 2:30 that the PNC office was burning, I feel it to my heart, you know. Because Mr. Malcolm, what are we doing with ourselves, man, especially Portmore and Spanish Town? I want to put those two parish, because they say Portmore going to become a parish on the spotlight. Mr. Malcolm, talk to me. The mayor of Spanish Town. Mayor over what? Where in Spanish Town is the mayor? What is the mayor doing for Spanish Town?
Well, making sure that the garbage is collected. I don't know. Making sure that the street lights are in place and related, the usual local government type activities.
You know that Spanish Town was the first capital of Jamaica.
I think it's actually Seville. Sevilla La Nueva, New Seville, in Saint Anne, Seville in Saint Anne. That's the starting point of, in a manner of speaking, civilization in Jamaica.
What is Spanish Town
because
became the capital?
I'll see if I can remember the name right now, but the year. But what happened is that the government at the time and their representatives were living in the north, which is where Seville is, northern section there. But the mosquito would have killed them, as my late mother would say. Mosquito like trouble. So they picked up all kinds of illnesses, include, I think, yellow fever and some others. And so the decision was made to remove from there and go to Spanish Town.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But for a place like that, Mr. Malcolm, you think it should deteriorate like that?
It shouldn't, because it holds so much of Jamaica's rich history that we should have visitors from all over the world being bussed in and out of that area, and it would make for a thriving socio-economic environment, which would be quite sustainable.
Thank you, sir. Now, when you cut off Spanish Town and Portmore, because the taxes that are paid in Portmore and Spanish Town now, they go to serve in the parish of St. Catherine. And with St. Catherine having so much problem in taking care of itself, when they cut it and give Portmore parish status and St. Catherine a different parish status, where the money going to come from to finance the two parishes, Mr. Malcolm?
Well, you have to know where money is coming from before you make decisions that will call upon the budget.
Thank you, sir. I'm going to plan to raise the land tax over there, you know.
Well, the people have to be on guard and on watch and constantly monitoring and asking questions.
Mr. Malcolm never asked you a serious question. You know, most of the people who causing the problem in Portmore are people who rent out over there, not the landowners.
I've heard as much, yes.
What causes a person who rent a house not wanting to sweep them yard gate or sweep the yard compared to a person who owns the house, Mr. Malcolm? What drives that psychology?
It's a function of the individual's socialization.
Okay, explain and tell.
It's how you were brought up. It's your, in Jamaica we talk about brought-upsy. Some of us don't have any brought-upsy.
Yes.
If you are socialized, if you are brought up to keep your environment clean, then naturally you are going to stay true to that, especially if you have been fundamentally schooled in that regard. If that's not the case, then what you find is that I just take on the characteristics of anybody else. So if somebody throws something in the environment, I just go along with it because yes, it's garbage. So just throw it out like that, and we end up just being everything else but who we really are supposed to be. So, for example, there are those of us who were brought up in a particular way that spoke about cleanliness being next to godliness. And when you get up in the morning, first thing you do, you give thanks. So you say your prayers and you read your Bible. You then get up and make up your bed. And then you sweep out your room if you're blessed to have your own room. Then you might have to sweep out the rest of the house and the yard, front yard, backyard, side yard, etc.
Come on, fam. I'm suggesting to the mayor of Mount Spanish Town and St. Catherine, because you know them start get the salary increase already, Mr. Malcolm.
Yes, I see the opposition leader saying that the money was in his account on Friday and he's only taking 20% in line in support of the public sector workers who are only receiving a 20% increase.
The mayor and the councillors of these two parish, they need to walk every nook and cranny and make sure they check the people in the yard and make sure they clean up them gate and clean up them yard and dispose of the rubbish properly. There need to be some form of discipline. Garbage disposal, ticketing system in Portmore.
One suspects it's the ad hoc, and these two words should never come together. Ad hoc, we're counting ad hoc as one word. The ad hoc development of our country. It's been over time, pisa, chaka, chaka, and when that happens, it's hard to correct it. It's hard. It's a case of what gone bad a man and can't come good a evening. One moment, please.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:15. What is independence? At Hypro, we believe real independence means self-sufficiency, sustainability. It means developing the capacity to grow what we eat and eat what we grow smartly. Hypro continues to be your source for quality agricultural inputs and technical support to make sure Jamaica produces the best quality crops, poultry, and livestock. We sacrifice to achieve political independence. Let's work together to secure our food independence. Grow with Hypro.
Lonely, I just stick out my chin and grin and say, the sun will come out tomorrow, so you gotta hang on till tomorrow. Come what may, tomorrow.
Que ahora es en español, son las 4:16, que la retire en français les 4:16. Hiện tại, TDN le, sư dien, she, liu, fen, 16 minutes past 4 o'clock in the afternoon at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Have you done your homework yet? If not, now is a good time. Good afternoon to all schoolers listening to us, all the students from the early childhood level to the secondary level. Trust you had a productive day of learning today. Hope you also managed to get in some physical activity, just as important as mental activity. And as we always say, young people, socialization makes you educable. Education makes you trainable. Training makes you employable, and the right attitude makes you successful. Homework time, young people. Continuing with more on your program, both sides of the story, Power 106 FM. Right, to the point. So we've had ad hoc, if we can put those two terms together, and we shouldn't, ad hoc, so-called ad hoc development over the years. Pisa, pisa, chaka, chaka. And it in some respects, governments over the years have been able to do some level of correction. But in the absence of establishing not just a physical place, but a culture, a way of life, people for the most part, can't. Well, let me hold that back for the timing. Go ahead.
So, Mr. Malcolm, this chaka chaka other thing,
Yes.
it has seeped into our blood.
Well, this is it. It has become a part of our culture.
Oh, and don't sort of chaka chaka thing breed up aggression and crime.
That's right. Because then you're feeling.
That's the problem, Mr. Malcolm, man. Mr. Malcolm.
Yeah.
It seems as if we're paying a lot of people some big money around here for nothing. But I don't understand it. If you are the mayor of Portmore and you sit in that high office, and you're getting so much millions every month and every year, and you can walk the city of Portmore and drive every road and say to the people, say, young man, who live in this yard? 5 of you live in the yard. You can't keep the gates so you take turns and sweep it up. And you talk to them 2 times. The next time you give them a ticket and put them in front of the court. Yeah. And the Portmore would look better and all the gully bank them. If you live on the gully bank, you know what's come clean out your gully bank before mosquito breed up over Portmore. Mm-hmm. The amount of, with the animal name, the little flavor rat, mangoes. Mm-hmm. The amount of mangoes that live in Portmore is frightening. Mr. Malcolm.
Yes, sir.
When them cut off Portmore from St. Catherine, so that the St. Catherine municipality money are feed, and Portmore municipality, you know that the money that they collected in Portmore cannot take care of Portmore infrastructure though. I think they're going to use Portmore as a cash cow, you know. You know why, Mr. Sir?
Why?
If you listen to the throne speech of the Governor General, there was a line in the throne speech that he said, the government will be going after people with ill-gotten gain. You know what they mean by that? They're looking at a place like Portmore where a lot of remittance come in every weekend, you see? And the people them from foreign send their remittance to them family who own house over there or rent out. And they build up on the house. Some of them have been building on the house before Portmore became a municipality. And then the government knows, say, wait, all these houses over Portmore, some of them so big, where the people them get money and build up house. I think they're going to come in that farm and raise up the property tax in Portmore, you know. Because this government is a government of money. A warning the Portmore people, those of you who own house over there. This is a situation that you have to watch closely. This Portmore parish thing, I think this will be the camel that poor people can't carry. You know, I'm going to tell you that again, Mr. Malcolm.
Why?
The toll issue in Portmore, most people still vex over it, you know. Because the toll, them look at it as a second mortgage. And the security apparatus, as I tell you that, they can't pay the strata security over there. It is still causing a lot of problem, you know. People have to be going to court in the strata to pay the maintenance fee. $6,000 a month for places like Caribbean Estate. And you know, $6,000 a month where I am sitting now in Kingston. It's $6,000 a month for rent for one of them tenant yards, Mr. Malcolm. Yeah, it's for me there now. Yes. I'm in an inner city community now. And you know what bring me down here today, Mr. Malcolm? Maths exam, CXC maths. Today is the date of CXC maths. And everybody in Jamaica passed the match. Give God thanks to that.
Really?
Yes, Mr. Malcolm. Every school on the call. I sing amen, hallelujah.
And it doesn't have anything to do with the leaked information from, was it paper 2?
No, well, most of them had a good SBA. The student base.
Oh.
And they're going to put that with the multiple choice that they did today.
Mm-hmm.
And all the students I talk to, they feel good today. Okay. And I give God thanks for that.
Very good.
Because, Mr. Malcolm, may I leave you with this, because I have to continue with you.
Mm-hmm.
When a person live in a nasty environment and them stress as a children, don't it cause a lot of psychological and self-esteem damage, Professor?
Yeah, their behavioral pattern will be, it will manifest in their behavior.
That is, then you tell me now, you, Mr. Malcolm, when you know so much things, I mean, I have to ask you to stretch your brain. You mean to tell me those who are ministers and MP and councillors, they don't know these things?
Knowing is one thing.
Huh?
Knowing is one thing. Doing is another.
Yeah. Doing. You have to have the will to do it, done.
That's right.
And if you love money more than people, you're not going to do it.
Yeah, someone once taught me that the first talent is the willingness to do. The first talent, a former neighbor of mine, the first talent is the willingness to do. And he went on to draw reference to the babies, the little ones. Ever realize how quickly they respond to you if you say, "Come here, baby, take this to mommy, take this to daddy," and they want to do it. They fall on the ground, they get up, they come back up, get up, fall, get up. It's a kind of energy that they have at that. That's the pre-innocence energy, the innocence of youth. So
and that is part of the socialization that you're talking about.
That's right. But unfortunately, most of us, it seems, at home and abroad, all over, we tend to grow it out. We grow out of, well, we grow out that attitude of the willingness to do, to get things done. And which is a point my former neighbor was making, that you have a situation where, look at the babies, he said, look at the children. You give them something, take this to mommy, take this, and they keep doing it. The older we get, we start to dismiss that kind of activity. It's your father or your mother have to call you 10 times before you get up and do what you're being called to do. But when you were in the baby stage, the infant stage, those early years, you were, sorry, go ahead.
Malcolm, to what extent do you think social media and TikTok has damaged those culture in the current generation?
Well, it remains to be seen. I mean, it remains to be seen how we will, the extent to which we continue to evolve from here on in.
Yeah.
And whether we can keep our eyes out for the effects of some of the technologies that we have embraced in this life. So it remains to be seen.
Mr. Malcolm, your food basket never empty, sir.
And something my maternal grandmother used to say. Every time I hear that expression, I remember her.
Mr. Malcolm, you have a serious role to play in the New World Order. Stay fit, yeah?
I'll do my best.
To continue.
Thank you. Take care. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. To the phone lines once again. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling. Hello. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm.
Good afternoon.
Yeah. Anyway, heard the last caller there never telling you that this government is a government of money. But every government is a government of money. Because government do have money, government can provide goods and services. Because basically government don't collect wealth, produce wealth. Government collect taxes to provide services for people, especially those in terms of need to lift them up by the bootstrap. Would you agree on that?
Come again.
I said that basically government don't create wealth in most cases. Government collect taxes.
Oh yes, government's duty is to provide what is described as an enabling environment.
Of course. So every government is a government of money. Any government that do have any money is broke and will not last so long in a democracy. They are going to be got rid of by the people. Because you can't have them under the gun and not providing health, education, security, having manufacturing, operating in order to bring in money. The government collects money from the various taxes, indirect and direct taxation. So when it come and tell you those type of thing and government talking about people with ill-gotten wealth and people getting money abroad for to work on housing Portmore. Those is side show to rile up the people that the government is wicked. Government is not stupid. Government knows where money is coming from illegal means. And it is to plug those means, and it is people that are involved in corrupt practice have to fret about certain measures being imposed by government. People who are clean afraid of no government, you know. And nobody not use no scare tactics and spread propaganda. Because I tell you, beware of that caller who come and pick you up and tell you say you are professor and things of the sort. Because underneath that, him a bold medium place and he's swinging in a bouncer which will lick off the helmet off your head. You understand what I tell you now, Mr. Malcolm?
Sounds like you're talking to your 5-year-old or your 3-year-old.
Yeah, man, so you understand when they come and they sweep you up and let go the propaganda them out here.
Hold on, please.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now 4:30.
It's riveting, thought-provoking, and interesting. It's the morning agenda on Power 106 FM. Weekdays, 7:15 to 9 a.m. Join Jody and Quarry on Mondays and Tuesdays, and Sanjay Lewis on Wednesdays and Thursdays, while they alternate on Fridays, as they set your agenda and break down the issues, and keep you informed on what matters to you most. It's the morning agenda on Power 106 FM. Weekdays, 7:15 to 9 a.m. only on Power 106 FM.
And grin and say, the sun'll come out tomorrow, so you gotta hang on.
¿Qué hora es en español? Son las 5:29. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 5:29. 现在 TDN 了5点 cha Archer Jiao Fen. 29 minutes to 5 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Do you know where your children are? Are they where they're supposed to be? Doing what they're supposed to be doing? It's a good time to check up on the children. A good time for us to continue with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Just saw a pop-up of the person of interest, the police, Jamaica Constabulary Force, seeking the public's help in finding a woman who they believe can assist them with information relating to the death of 8-year-old Daniel Rowe. The image of the woman was developed using an electronic facial identification technique. Let's see what comes out of this. Let's see. And so that search is on. That search is on. Let's continue. Yes, thanks for holding. You were saying about propaganda.
Yes, Mr. Malcolm.
So you're not involved. You're not involved in that kind of thing, are you? You don't do propaganda.
No, man, you talk the truth, man.
Okay.
Mr. Malcolm.
Mm-hmm.
At one time, didn't you hear this saying that people work with the government because the salary is small, but their job is secure?
I don't know about that. There's no significant what you call it now, a security of tenure. If you deserve to be promoted or your work appraised and so on, then so be it. But no, it's not.
No, well, I will tell you that plenty of them work in the civil service for many years and they don't get any promotion. But they're satisfied to be there because they get a salary and that much emphasis is placed upon output. Unlike in the private sector, when you are served at a certain level of supervision and given certain job target, and your services can be disposed of. Worst of all, when you are not represented by a union. But in years to come, you know that plenty of people go and tax this government. Because you see the increase in the salary of government workers, the younger generation that come and work there will get salary that will equip many of them that if they are not fully able to cope, they will not be badly off in terms of inflation and the cost of living at that particular time. Because right now the government gets in the flack, especially because parliamentarians get significant increase. But you remember under the previous government when government workers got 4% increase and parliamentarians get 103% increase. You remember that time?
Yes.
When Omar Davis said the increase was 28%, and Delroy Chuck said when he checked stuff, so the month he get 102.96% increase. Well, that is the hypocrisy that you have in Jamaica in terms of the PNP taking the salary and at the same time cutting the government. Due to Julian Robinson in the House when it was announced, saying that they have no objection, and the next man in Damian Campbell coming out and said that they oppose it. Because you know right now that top personnel in the police, nursing, and teaching profession have got significant increase. And the teachers at the bottom, some of them, the increase that they get is equivalent to 10 years of increase under previous administration.
So you think there's more than enough then to cause your party to be back in power at the next election?
Well, if the people are understanding and the people talk the truth, then they will get in power. But with the amount of propaganda that you have out there, you see the people in that get increase, they remain silent. And you know why they remain silent in certain professions? Some of them afraid say, gunman will come and them for money. And their family will say they have money. So they want money. So them keep quiet. Then you have the teachers them. Then you have them hostile to the government. Lock down school and inconvenience children. Then what you think the parents are going to do? Kick out the government. They know what they are doing. It is a vicious cycle that we're dealing out here with people primarily concerned about themselves. And when they get
but people are not going to stop being about themselves anytime soon.
Well, I'm glad you see that. And they're playing true to form. And nothing never change. Because the more things is, the more change is, the more they remain the same. Mr. Malcolm, we are in turbulent times, and dark days are ahead in terms of the mode of thinking and behavioral patterns of the people of Jamaica, in terms of self-interest and greed, and willing to spread propaganda in order to make political mileage.
We hear you.
Hello, you have a good day.
You too. Take care. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world, taking your calls on 876-922-411-225. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good
How are you
afternoon.
doing today?
I am fine, thanks. And you?
Okay, I'm pretty good, by the grace of God. But my name is Edna Silisma. I am a Bush Sergeant Foundation representative in Jamaica. We have a team in Jamaica. We are working together. But I heard the premise in Haiti supposed to arise in Jamaica. Actually, they are in Kingston in a meeting with CARICOM. But unfortunately, we Asian, we was expect to hear that across the radio, the government of Jamaica, as usual, when an official is coming to Jamaica, they always inform that to the Jamaican people. But we never listen to nothing. So we did plan to stop it and to go to demonstrate because we against what happened in Kingston. But we never know. It seems to me something they do in secret. So I have some concern about it.
So you are against the meeting in Kingston?
Absolutely. Definitely.
Oh. I see.
Hello?
So, and you say you're going to be demonstrating?
No, what I'm saying to you, we was about to demonstrate, but they meeting in secret, so I have some concern. I want to express our concern about it as a nation.
Oh. But what do you think it's going to take to get law and order happening in Haiti again?
But absolutely, what I think, unfortunately, I don't think the president of CARICOM wishes the president of Jamaica, Sir Andrew Holness, did approach the matter in an appropriate way. The reason why, as a leader of CARICOM, I do believe Prime Minister Andrew Holness is a very smart person. But I think if he has been failed to invite a criminal government in Haiti, where the entire Asian people reject this government participates in several crimes in Haiti, where the same government have a lot of gunmen take control in Haiti, kill off Asian people, where there is no people who can evacuate or to go to look after their business, where the gunmen take over. The same gunmen tell the Asian people the President Jovenel has been killed by Prime Minister Ariel Henry, and then the same gunman planified the death of Jovenel Moise with Ariel Henry. Hello?
Yeah, we still have to be mindful that this is radio, and we don't have evidence I mean, you might know something, but we might very well not know what you know. But we have to be careful in terms of how we.
I understand what you say, but what I'm saying, he has been accused by a gunman, by a gang leader. It means he has been accused as a gang leader. Anyway, Asian people do not accept. But can you please give me? Can I call you, please? I'm at work. Can I call you, please? Next 15 minutes, please.
Oh, you want to call us back? We're going to wrap up the program by then. But thank.
Maybe I will call you next time.
Yes, please. But let's leave it there for now. Okay. Thanks for the call. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Good afternoon, well, good evening, UK time to Angelia Christian. Thank you very much for tuning in. She says, well, gone by the morning, can't come good evening. Natalie Winter, good afternoon to you too. Angel says, PNP, 20 years, everything, government, buildings, schools, hospital, mashed down, no maintenance, says Angela Christian in London. Albert in Coconut Creek, Florida, says, Dervan, good afternoon. Listening to the caller, I think Neville, the mayor of Portmore, walking through Spanish Town, in a way, I'm in agreement with him. But for not the mayor or councillors to do so, there should be code enforcement officers with the authority to issue warning citations to individuals to correct any defect or defects in a stated time frame, and upon re-inspection, if not corrected, that warning gets extended. If the next re-inspection finds no corrective actions, then fines are imposed and increased incrementally as long as it takes to initiate corrective actions. That would definitely help to maintain some order, even if the areas are in ad hoc manner. Thank you very much, Albert in Coconut Creek, Florida, for your perspective. All the very best. Ricardo in Glengoff, St. Catherine, good afternoon to you, and thank you very much for tuning in and making it both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. More messages after the break, perhaps. Let's take the break and come back with more in just a moment.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:45.
Dr. Jackie Campbell is on call this and every Wednesday evening at 8 with Powering Your Health. Powering Your Health is Power 106 FM's flagship program dedicated to health and wellness, your one-stop place to power a healthy lifestyle. How can we help you to power your health? You can reach the show anytime by calling 876-922-411225